Hey, welcome to the DBB channel, and today we actually have another Agora Battle Cup game. It's going to be actually a top 8 game between the Dorothy against the Shy Spirits. And funny enough, alright, both decks actually are the no trigger decks. And there's something awkward about this interaction, especially for the Dorothy end, because Dorothy actually is a very strong card, whereby it actually requires your opponent to have actually a lot of trigger cards on their field, because you do have the Dorothy that actually explodes a card for each triggers on your opponent field. So for a deck like the Shy here, they are just known to be no triggers as well, and that's going to impact quite a bit, alright, for how the Dorothy will play out. So we shall see how this game will actually turn out, as we do see the spirits going for the impact negate as well as the draw 1 here. And I really like how they introduced the draw 1 as the red target for the deck in general, because it's just super good. You know, a card that draws and after that it can become a red target. It's just super plus in my opinion. And now for the left player, he does actually push out one of the card against the opponent, and that card actually is pretty decent. Alright, it does actually become a 4K attacker. And in this matchup, definitely 4K's attacks are actually very welcome. And definitely the core of the deck is actually the Eden Field spell. Now, aside from being a very stable double energy for the deck itself, it also acts as the core, I'll say, resource for you, because now every card in your deck which doesn't have a trigger essentially becomes a trigger, because you can just choose it to add it to hand. Of course, aside from those very obvious cards such as the special, the final, as well as the red, we do see the right player here actually going pretty nuts, I would say, as he does actually go for the Lady Black as well as the spirits at the back line. And then he's actually going to follow up with the spirits red here, and then bouncing one of the opponent as well as putting on very strong pressure here. And we do see him actually hit into a no trigger here, but doesn't use the Eden effect to actually take it to hand, because I mean there's obviously one more attack going through, so he does actually have the luxury of choice here. So he actually go for the second card here in terms of Hana, and Hana of course allows her to, or rather him, to actually draw one, discard one, which is pretty nice. And we do see him actually pushing out bodies into the front line. Not very exciting turn for him, especially because, you know, there are 4K bodies and 2.5 in the front line, and it's going to be pretty scary for the left side here, as he does actually got bounced in the Isabel previously, and this will definitely hurt in terms of tempo. And definitely, I mean, spirits just have the idea of UG, right? UG is actually pretty good for a good reason here, and we do actually see for him actually raiding into the Haran raid here, which obviously does have impact 1, and of course scrying, look at top 2 and pick 1 card. Not gonna do too much though, because I think that's probably the only attack that will go through this turn, and the spirits will actually be at a healthy of 5 energy or at a 5 life. And the Dorothy is not able to swing because actually we do have the red target in the front line here, so it's actually not becoming a 2.5k attacker, which is pretty unfortunate. And we do see the red player taking advantage of this turn by going for the Lady Black at the back line, alright, or the energy line, and then going for 2 fluffy cannons, effectively wiping out the board. And the left player is going to go with this very, I'll say, bad disadvantage actually, and does use the Eden to actually pick up the Haran, adding it to hand. But it's not going to do too much here, because we are still seeing no triggers left and right. And that's really the nature of these two decks, and they don't really have good defensive plays, to be very honest. Now we are back to the left player turn here. He does have only 2 life to work with, and it's gonna be very rough from here, because actually we don't actually see any final or any special or even any better red targets other than the Haram we saw just now. We do really need to see the Dorothy, but like I mentioned at the start of the video, Dorothy isn't going to do too much in this game itself because of how many triggers, alright, we do actually see for the right player here. And if we were to count right now, we do only see 2 in terms of Lady Black as well as the spirits. So he can only bomb 2k bodies, and there's no 2k bodies in the front line. So it's actually pretty well played for the right player here. And we do see Isabel swinging for the life here, and we do hit into a very unfortunate color trigger. And this is basically, I think, almost game over for the left player here, because, you know, nothing is going right for him, and the right player just hitting the nuts, seeing the special, seeing the spirits, and seeing the double energy, basically seeing whatever he really wants to see. Let's go for the AP draw 1 here, because he can definitely have the luxury of choice here. We do see another spirits or the draw 1 in the back line here, a very healthy hand size with a full board, and then going for the fluffy cannon once again. And we do have 4 attacks going through against the 2 left bodies. Alright, we do see the spirits going for the main phase effect, of course dropping 1 non-hero, or rather 1 hero with no trigger, getting the impact 1, so it's going to be pretty scary for the left player here. and he definitely have to block it this turn. The Lady Black does add one more advantage to his hand here, and I think left player actually almost starts to, you know, giving up, alright, as he does eat the life here. But we do hit into a Dorothy raid, and like I mentioned just now, it's not gonna do too much because it doesn't really have any triggers on the right player side. And this is basically it, as we do see the Spirit swing the Impact 1, and this is game over. So a Shy Hero really takes this win very fast. Now this is the deck list if you guys are interested in for the Shy deck list. And this is the Dorothy deck list if you guys are interested in as well. Thank you for watching till the end, and do consider subscribing, dropping a like and a comment if you guys do enjoy the content.